Critical race theory is Marxism substituting wealth for whiteness. Hi, my name is Ali Schwaga, and this is 10 Points to Ponder, where we like to talk about all the things that get you canceled: race, politics, Jesus, and manhood. Today, I want to talk about critical race theory because it's been a big topic, and I really needed to do some research, remind myself, and share some information. So this is going to be a little bit more academic. I want this to be a video that people are able to share with their friends so that they can have some concrete answers and solutions when it comes to critical race theory. I want to start by comparing Marxism and critical race theory, the origin, the narrative that they promote, and then also the solutions that are proposed by critical race theory and Marxism. So I'll start with the historical narrative. Marxism believes that there was at one time ancient communism, and then there was class struggle. Marxism is a determinism that believes that there will always be class struggle until a Marxist utopia is achieved. Critical race theory has the historical narrative that America was founded on white supremacy in 1619 and that it has maintained this system of unequal rights for black people through the law. The problem for Marxism, it says it's too much wealth in the hands of too few people. Critical race theory, on the other hand, says white people have better outcomes, therefore that is proof that there is racism still ongoing. How the problem persists. Marxism would say that the problem persists because of cultural hegemony, which was a theory posited by Antonio Gramsci. He basically said that the hegemonic forces and powers are making you think that it's a norm for certain people to have power and other people to not have power. CRT says the problem persists because of systemic racism, which is the complex interaction of culture and policy and institutions, and all of these things are creating disparate outcomes between black people and white people. So anytime that you see black people doing worse than white people, then clearly the cause is systemic racism. The enemy of Marxism is capitalism, patriotism, and Christianity. Because capitalism basically says you can go out and work, and if you make yourself valuable enough, if you produce a product that's valuable enough, you will reap the benefits of that through wealth. Patriotism says what matters about us most is that we're Americans. We're one nation under God, under the same flag, and we're indivisible. What Christianity says is that our true lives are not here on earth, that wealth and materialism aren't all that there is, but that we need to store up our treasure in heaven. The enemies of critical race theory are the same as Marxism, except all these things, capitalism, patriotism, and Christianity, are now renamed as whiteness. What is their strategy to combat the enemy? Well, Marxism says that they're going to infiltrate what they call the robes of society. Politicians, pastors, and professors. All three of these places where people go and listen for direction on how maybe they ought to operate their lives. They want to infiltrate those three areas so that people will now believe in a collectivist mindset and give away their God-given rights and freedoms. What critical race theory has as a strategy to combat the enemy is they want to stoke white guilt. Remember, white guilt is not guilt over what someone has done, it's the terror of being labeled a racist. And so people, in order to dissociate, will do anything that is said to be anti or against racism. They also want to call achievements white privilege. So no longer, as a white person, do you graduate college. You're just a recipient of white privilege. They also want to call any disparity evidence of the fact that there's a systemic racist factor. They don't want to look at the individuals and look at some of their habits or anything going on culturally. They just want to say if black people are not achieving at this level, then it's clearly caused by racism. What's the ultimate solution for both? The ultimate solution for Marxism is utopia, equal outcomes for all. The ultimate solution for critical race theory is utopia, but it's called equity. Here's 10 points on what my specific issues are with critical race theory. The first one, it reduces people to their skin color. All that matters about you is whether you're white or black, and that will determine whether you're a good person or a bad person. 2, it conflates culture with race. There are black people that have all sorts of different cultures and sorts of different cultural characteristics that are either productive or counterproductive. And what they want to say as critical race theorists is that there is one black culture that clearly is counterproductive, but that's not their fault. It's because of white supremacy. Point 3, achievement is not earned if you're white. Your achievement is no longer a result of hard work. It's because it was handed to you. The same thing for black people. Achievement is not expected if you're black, because anytime that you fail or are unable to compete, it's not your fault. It's simply systemic racism. Point 4, it seeks offense. We are looking for microaggressions. People are looking for a reason to be offended. 5, it denies the reality that throughout all of human history, there has never been equal representation in anything. Why? Because people are different. People have different skills, different talents, different desires to do certain things. Why is the NBA 70% black? 6, it resolves perceived racism with racism. If black people aren't achieving a certain level, then all we need to do is keep white people from achieving that level so that everyone will be equally miserable. Point 7, it denies agency for blacks. If everything is because of systemic racism, then do I have free will? Do my choices matter at all? Or am I simply a child that needs to be coddled and brought along from cradle to grave by the government? Point 8, it denies redemption for whites. Since the original sin is white supremacy, you will always be white. There is nothing that you can do to make yourself acceptable in this construct. Point 9, it has a limited view of partiality because it reduces it to only race. There are many ways that we can be partial and unfair to other people. If we just focus on race, then we're missing all the other sins that people commit. Point 10. In so many ways, critical race theory is unbiblical. Consider this. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Unless I'm black, then I can't. How about this? God so loved the world that he sent his only Son, so that whosoever believes in him, except for white people, shall not perish, but have everlasting life. This is an unbiblical construct and narrative. Those are my thoughts. What do you think? Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. My name is Ollie Schwaga, and this has been 10 Points to Ponder.